Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. Today we are going to discuss how to stack testosterone, Primobolan, and Masteron. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there supporting the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. I cannot thank you enough for the love and support. Please, if you haven't yet, subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you can do to feed the algorithm. It is greatly appreciated and it's only helping the channel to grow, which is allowing me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video is sponsored by Let'sGetChecked.com. Now, Let'sGetChecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. I talk about them all the time. Absolutely love them. What you're going to do, go to the website, Let'sGetChecked.com. You're going to pick out whatever tests that you want to order. Now, check them out thoroughly because there's a ton there. They've got tests specifically for men and women. They've got wellness, hormonal. They've got COVID testing. They do it all, STD testing. You know, dig in there around. Look at, test your cholesterol. You know, things like that are extremely important on top of whatever else you were looking for. Look around. Why? Because I can save you 30% off with the code Gemelli30. So you can buy more for less. Now, all you got to do is order your test. You can get it overnighted if you need. Otherwise, priority shipping's there. You get the test, they send it to you, you register the test online, take it, send it right back. Your results are fast, efficient, and then you've got nurses and doctors there 24 hours a day to answer questions. They're always there. They're always answering questions for you so that you're not worried, concerned, or sitting there wondering what is what. Let'sGetChecked.com, coupon code Gemelli30, save you 30% off. So, topic for the day, a cycle that is right up my alley. Stacking testosterone, Primobolan, and Masteron. Now, looking at this cycle, you can clearly see this is mainly geared towards cutting, physique, polishing. You can always try to gain more size in it by your diet, and you can certainly gain lean muscle with these compounds, but you're not going to be running the cycle to gain like 6, 7, 8, 9 pounds. I could see you getting few pounds out of it, 3 to 4 even, depending on how you eat, maybe even 5. And depending on how high you run your test, for example, you could even get more. Point is most people running this cycle aren't going to be aiming for that. They're going to be aiming for that, like I said, that physique, that hardening, that lean muscle gain, that clean, dry, continuous. You're looking at compounds that are really, really geared towards aesthetics, towards building that nice, clean, lean muscle, dry. That's what you're looking at here. You're definitely going to have some strength. You can always have some aggression with the DHT. Some far more than others. Some people never will. But then you've also got tests there too as the backbone to the cycle. Now, you can always go with shorter esters here and keep it 10 weeks. Generally, you're going to want to run Primobolan 12 weeks, but you could run shorter esters 12 weeks too if you want, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole short ester thing. So I'll cover it for both, and I'll break it down for you how I would do it and recommend. I would go 12 weeks, testosterone, cypionate, enanthate, Masteron, enanthate, and Primobolan. Run your testosterone 300 to 350 milligrams a week. I'm a big proponent of this. You know why. I really, really believe that it's the backbone of every cycle, but more is not always better, especially in this regard. And you start getting up in that 400, 500 range, you got more estrogen conversion, more side effects, and not as an aesthetically pleasing result. And especially on a cycle like this, I'm assuming you want it to be quite dry. And it can be, as long as you don't run tests too high, and you can still control your estrogen, but why add that water and have to control it, or that? Just run it moderately and get what you should out of it is my thoughts. And then both Primobolan and Masteron doses, 500 to 600 milligrams a week. 400, you'll still see results on both, no doubt. And especially with something like Primobolan that's more expensive, if you got 100 milligram a milliliter compound, especially because there are some 200s at UGLs, but generally speaking, it's 100. That's a lot of oil, because you think about it, if you want to go 600, that's 3 cc's, 2 days a week of just Primobolan. You can do it every other day if you want. It's not really what I would recommend, especially on a longer ester, but you can. But I would say 12 weeks, 14 weeks max. I don't care for cycles that long, and it's not necessary. There's not super long esters here. So that's what I would do. Now, if you're going with test propionate and mass propionate, what I would do is go 10 weeks for the whole cycle. I would go test prop 100 milligrams every other day, and I would go mass prop 150 to 200 milligrams every other day, and then your Primobolan in that 400 to 600 range for the 10 weeks, and boom, you could do that. I like Primobolan at 12 weeks, but you can certainly run at 10 and still see very nice results. I absolutely love this cycle. It's no secret that Primobolan is my favorite compound, and as to why, and you know the way that when I run compounds, I'm always generally looking more as the aesthetically pleasing result as opposed to the big intrinsic size. That's just me. So these are more in tune with what I prefer. Some people don't, but a lot of people want to know how to use them regardless. And this kind of stack can really, really produce some really, really nice, clean gains, especially if you got quality compounds. You know, I understand Primobolan gets faked a lot. If you don't trust where you're getting it, don't fucking get it. All right? And just wait, or just don't use it. Or go to forums and message boards and wherever you can and read some reviews and try to get help there, whatever. You know, but I'm just speaking of if you've got tried and true compounds here, what the results are going to be, or what they should be, and why I really love this cycle. And I really do believe that running these kind of doses is the most effective way and the safest way to get the most out of it. And keep your side effects extremely low. That's what I believe and feel, and I'll stand on that. But this cycle really, it's a cutting dream. And you could always add it like an Anavar or a Winstrol here, or some cutting SARM, some Cardarine, some S4, some ACP 105, RAD 140. There's a lot of things that you could add onto this too. Anavar or Winstrol would be perfect here with a couple cutting SARMs. That would be a mean cycle, you know. Finish that cycle off with 40, 50 milligrams of Anavar. Hit some S4 and ACP 105 or RAD on cycle with some Cardarine. I mean, you could have a mean cycle. Mean. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this, because while that 400 to 600 is a little higher, these are more mild compounds. So you're really not having to deal with a ton of side effects, especially with that controlled testosterone dose. You should be butter through this one. So you could add in a few more things, and it's not too much. You know how I am very conservative on my dosing, but when I see little areas that you can exploit and get away with it, well, we're certainly going to take on those and get the benefit out of it in the right way, with respect and not abusing it. But we're going to take advantage of it if we can. So that's how I would run that cycle. Just know that it could be a tremendous cycle if ran properly. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.